Thanksgiving food fight, starting with a big debate that has many families feuding. Is a frozen turkey as good as fresh? What do you guys think? I'm not sure, are you? To find out, here's what the deal. I enlisted Mark Schatzker. He's an Oz core team expert and an award-winning food journalist. And last time he was here, remember, he revealed the little-known pork industry secret. There's a drug that's fed to nearly 70% of pigs in our country. This time, Mark headed to New Jersey to a turkey farm to get the food truth about that frozen turkey.
Americans everywhere are looking forward to one of the most beautiful days of the year. Now, I'm not talking about the Black Friday sales at the shopping mall. I'm talking about this, Thanksgiving.
Everyone will get along and enjoy a delicious meal. Unless the most divisive topic in the history of Thanksgiving comes up. Not white versus dark meat. I'm talking about the fresh versus frozen debate. I wanted a definitive answer, so I went to Lee's Turkey Farm in New Jersey, which has been in business since the 1800s. Ronnie Lee is a fifth-generation turkey farmer who raises and sells turkeys.
How are you?
Doing just fine.
Both fresh and frozen.
Ronnie, you've got this beautiful 54-acre farm. You raise 3,000 turkeys. I'm sure you could sell every last one of them fresh, but you still freeze some of them. Why is that?
Well, absolutely. It's because, we want turkey more often than just on Thanksgiving. And I believe that if you freeze them properly, they have the exact same quality as the fresh.
So can I see some of your turkeys?
Absolutely. Follow me.
Hey, guys. So, Ronnie, what is the shelf life of a fresh turkey?
About a week.
So you got 1 week to get all these turkeys ready for Thanksgiving?
There's no way I could get all these turkeys ready for Thanksgiving, so we start in October and we will freeze those.
So you're telling me they're just as good as the fresh ones that you do right before Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. Let me show you how we do it.
Ronnie told me he first air chills his birds in a cooler for 48 hours. Chilling lets enzymes start to break down the muscle fibers, making the meat more tender. Next, they're flash frozen.
Oh my God, it is cold in here.
It is a bit chilly, isn't it?
What is the temperature?
-10. And it's got to be this way because you have to flash freeze the meat very quickly at 10 below, and you keep it at 10 below until you're ready to thaw it. That's
okay,
good quality.
I am ready to thaw. Let's get out of here.
Come on, let's go.
Ronnie, tell me about the fresh turkeys that you find at the supermarket.
Well, the supermarket fresh turkeys aren't sometimes all that fresh. So you see, they can be held down to as low as 26 degrees, and that actually causes the meat to freeze. And if it's not frozen quickly, there goes your quality.
So flash freezing is different than the fresh turkeys you find at the supermarket where it's just sort of partially frozen.
Absolutely.
And that messes up the texture.
It does.
Either serve turkey really fresh or flash freeze it, but something in between is where you run into quality problems.
Correct.
This all made a lot of sense. But before we go cold turkey on fresh birds, I needed to know for sure, can a frozen turkey really taste as good as a fresh one? So Ronnie introduced me to his wife, Janet.
Oh, perfect timing.
Who had just cooked a previously frozen turkey.
Want to see?
The official unveiling.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that looks awesome.
Would you like to try some?
Now we get to eat it.
Okay.
Moment of truth. That's delicious.
Thank
Good,
you.
I'm
Thank
glad
you.
like it.
So here's my advice. If you live near a farm where you can get a truly fresh turkey, well, there's really nothing better. But if you don't have access to a farm like this one, then the next time someone in your family makes a fuss about frozen, just tell them to let it go.
Let it go. Frozen, really?
I apologize.
Became a punster. So basically, it's easier to keep a frozen turkey frozen than a fresh turkey fresh. So frozen turkey is just as good or maybe even better in some ways than fresh turkeys. That answers that question. But now, Judge Mark needs to rule on the next big turkey squabble. What's the best and safest way to go from this, the frozen turkey we're talking about today, to this? Melting in your mouth, crisp and ready to eat. To answer that question, mother-daughter duo Markia and Tracy have decided to join us. They each say there's a best way to defrost the turkey. Why is it such a foul topic in your home?
Because I like to soak it in water. But I have a problem with my daughter because I like to actually just sit it on the counter and let it defrost by itself. It's less work.
Daughters.
I know.
So you don't want to copy your mom's technique? You don't like that?
No, I don't.
What's the problem with it?
I just think it takes too much work. I have to pour the water and then put the turkey in. I could just sit on the counter, walk away, and do what I have to do. Laziness.
So in my house, we've actually settled this question. The biggest argument we have is whether they have the tofu turkey or not, which I don't particularly like, but my wife's a vegetarian. So there we are, by the way. That's our typical dinner. We invite everyone we can meet into the house, and then they fight over the tofu versus real turkey. But there are actually 4 different ways of thawing out a turkey, right? When you defrost a turkey, you can put it on the counter, to your
Like
point.
me?
You can, that's the easiest way. You can put it in the fridge, takes a long time. In the microwave, that's an idea. We can put it underwater. You know, that's sort of a pain in the neck. So Mark, which one of these is a bad idea?
The worst idea is what we're looking at right here. My apologies. When you defrost a turkey on the counter, you're setting yourself up for a food safety problem because the interior of that turkey is like an iceberg. You think it's still frozen, but the exterior is in the danger zone, over 40 degrees. Sits there for a long time, not a good idea.
Can't control that. Okay, well, what else would you like up there?
Microwave. Sounds easy.
Yeah.
Doesn't work very well. We've all been there. You put your frozen turkey in the microwave. If it even fits, you bring it out and like the leg is completely cooked and the rest of it's completely frozen. It's also not safe, so I do not recommend the
The
microwave.
texture's not as good.
It's just not.
This is that one time of the year you got to do it the right way. So that leaves us with the idea of thawing it out.
Yes.
So now you're proud, huh? You can go home and brag a little bit.
Yes. I can't wait.
So let's show us how we're going to decide between the 2 options here. So you got 2 thoughts here, right? We can either put it in the fridge. How do you know if that makes sense?
Yeah, the fridge, this is the best option. From a food safety point of view, it's the best because your fridge is never above 40 degrees. It's also the best from the point of view of texture and turkey quality. However, it takes a long time, 24 hours for every 4 to 5 pounds. So a really big turkey can take up to a week. So if you're really good at thinking ahead, the fridge is your friend. The fridge is the best way. If you're like me and you keep forgetting to think ahead, there's another option.
Or grab it back. They better buy their turkey today if they want to do that refrigerator technique. This is a technique that you're sort of advocating for, I guess. It's the water method.
This can save you some time. It's about a half hour for every pound. So it's not, it's still going to take some time. And you got to do it right. So you have to make sure your turkey is wrapped in plastic. You don't want water getting on that bird, and it's got to be fully immersed. So you need a big container like this. Some people do it in the bath. Don't get in the bath with the turkey. And you got to make sure the water stays cold. So you might have to change it to make sure the water doesn't get above 40 degrees.
Yeah, there could be little chunks of ice in there. That's okay. Notice, by the way, this started to float. And so a lot of folks actually have to put something on the turkey. In fact, I have some social media images that I fell in love with. Take a look at this one. See, they put a pan on top of the turkey. Not only does it keep the turkey submerged, but it keeps the cat away. And here's another picture. This is my favorite one of all. It says, the caption says, "I'm a little bit jealous of the turkey that got to relax in the spa." It looks like a spa treatment in there. All right, one more big argument, Mark. We're helping everyone today. I'm going to answer this with some of our guests today. We have got these wonderful friends. For the rest of the show, they're going to be here. They're going to help me taste the food, and they're going to help me weigh in on what makes sense. They're my favorite food editors and food Instagrammer. Kristen Aiken is here. She's executive food and lifestyle editor of the Huffington Post. Stephanie Smith, senior editor of Yahoo Food, and she wrote that great book called 300 Sandwiches. And Christine Yee is here, whose beautiful Instagram photos you can find at CY Eats. So, one theme that even in my household we still quibble over is whether you rinse the turkey to get it clean before you put it in the oven. You guys all go through that in your home? Yeah. Right. So you want it to be as clean as possible. What do you guys think? What are people saying to you about that?
It is definitely a controversy. There are 2 different aspects of it to think about. First of all, that food safety. No one's really sure. We'd love to get your opinion on whether it does get rid of the bacteria. But then speaking in culinary terms, you really don't want a soggy skinned turkey. It's like the worst thing you can end up with. And if you wash it and don't properly dry the skin out, you could end up with, you don't get that great crispy skin.
Judge Mark, settle the argument. Should you rinse the turkey, announce it to America?
You should not rinse the turkey. It doesn't help from a food safety point of view. It is not so good from a quality point of view. And the worst of all is that water splattering, you're getting potentially bacteria in other parts of your kitchen, on your cutting board, on your counter. So do not rinse the turkey.
People are going to love when you tell them that. Saves them a step. All right, I'm going to check in with you guys throughout this hour. Thank you for being here. You can start eating. I made this for you myself, by the way. I didn't. The next big turkey debate, is it okay to cook the stuffing in the bird? Families have fought over this for generations. Mark led a Dr. Oz show test kitchen experiment to find the best, safest way to stuff your turkey while keeping the flavor and moisture where it needs to be. The results are next. We'll be right back.
So what's your preference, fresh or frozen? Yeah, don't listen to that guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
When it comes to cooking, I would like to think I taught my daughter very well. I love my mother's cooking. Please don't get me wrong, but she always seems to make one fatal mistake when it comes to cooking our Thanksgiving turkey. She always puts the stuffing inside of the turkey, and I don't understand why she does this because it always comes out so dry. And I disagree. That's the way I was taught, and I would love to keep it traditional. I love to cook the turkey and the stuffing separately, never together.
Today we're settling those long-time Thanksgiving food arguments, and now Mark Schatzker will help me answer one of the biggest Thanksgiving debates. Is it okay to stuff a turkey? You know what they call turkey in Turkey?
America?
A jokester and a journalist. It's actually, they call it Hindi, which means India. Because the turkey bird came to Turkey from India. I bet the turkey that we eat probably came to Europe, I guess, first from Turkey. But now you learn everything on this show. Incredible. All right, let's talk about the big issue. What do the experts say about stuffing a turkey, smart or not?
More and more they're saying not smart to stuff a turkey because problems happen. Most of us test the turkey for doneness, the meat. We want it to get to a minimum of 165. What we forget to do is test the stuffing. Now, some of us do know you should test the stuffing. We wait for it to get to 165, but by the time your stuffing's cooked, your turkey's overcooked. So it seems like it's just not possible.
It looks like that. See, burnt in the inside there. You're doing your best, but to get that stuff into where it needs to be, you end up with a charred turkey. Not just the skin, by the way. The whole thing gets dried out like it's the Sahara Desert. No one likes that. Nobody likes that, do they? They get mad, don't they? But you're all upset at me now because I said you can't stuff your turkey. Am I right? All right, but here's the general rule. General rule, keep the stuffing outside the bird. That killjoy, Mark just announced that. However, you can actually get past this. Why give yourself a headache and stress and risk food safety? It's not worth it, but I know you're traditionalists. So if you're gonna do this the way you grew up doing it, you're gonna want to do the same for your family. So Mark took a stab at a scientific approach to cooking a stuffed turkey, with the stuffing inside the turkey instead of beside it, in order to maximize the flavor and the safety. So take a look what happened inside the Dr. Oz test kitchen.
Let's face it, stuffing just isn't stuffing if it isn't inside your turkey. And as long as you know what you're doing, there's no reason to be worried about stuffing your turkey this Thanksgiving. Now, we've done all the research keeping in mind flavor, texture, and safety, and we're gonna show you how to do it right. Now, with me to make sure this bird tastes fantastic is show chef Uli Stachel, and with me to make sure this bird is a safe bird is the head of our medical unit, Dr. Michael Krupain. Now, Michael, from a safety point of view, we want to get this bird to 165, right?
That's right. We want the bird to be 165, but also the stuffing. That's really important.
And what's really important is to get them to 165 at about the same time, and that's what Uli's going to show us how to do. So Uli, tell me about the stuffing.
The wet ingredients are as hot as possible, and you mix the dry and the wet together last minute just before you stuff the bird.
And you want to keep the wet ingredients hot so that your stuffing gets to temperature faster. The general rule is 1 cup of stuffing per pound of turkey.
And you also want to leave some space in the turkey because the stuffing expands.
Now, the way we're gonna get the stuffing and the meat to hit the same temperature at the same time is by cooking low and slow at the lowest safe temperature, which is 325. Dr. Krupain is gonna put a thermometer probe in the stuffing, but also in the thigh, and that way we can compare, so we know that they're getting to the temperature at the same time. And now we wait. So this is gonna take a few hours, but we're gonna keep an eye on it. So Michael, it's been 2.5 hours. There's a 20-degree spread between our turkey within our stuffing. What are your thoughts?
And no matter what, we need the stuffing at 165, so it might end up that the meat ends up being a little higher than that in the end.
Okay guys, the stuffing's at 155, 10 degrees below where we want it. We think it's gonna heat up a bit more as we rest it, so I say we get the turkey out now.
Yep.
So we're gonna tent it now to keep the heat in, let that heat recirculate, let that stuffing get hotter, then we wait.
So the stuffing's at 165, so it's safe to eat.
And the bird is at 176, which means we haven't overcooked it. The big question though is, how does it taste? Looks amazing.
So our food editors are here. They're tasting the stuffing and the turkey from the experience. So load your forks in the mouth I want your honest opinions. Watch their eyes. That's where the truth is. Mark, what do you think? After all that hard work and hours of slaving over the stove, what do you think about the result?
I am thrilled. I was really rooting for the stuffed bird. I think the reason is when I look at a stuffed turkey, it reminds me of how stuffed I'm going to be after I eat the turkey.
I tell you, this is worth it. This is worth the effort.
But it's not easy. There was a time during the experiment where there was 20 degrees difference, and we were really worried that actually we were going to overcook that turkey. But it all came together in the rest. We took the turkey out, we put foil over it, and the heat just radiated into the interior. And the stuffing got up to 165, but most importantly, our meat didn't get overcooked.
Which is the best part. Stephanie, what do you think?
It's not bad. You know, it's tender, it's good. The stuffing's flavorful. It's not bad.
Is it chestnut?
There's shiitake mushrooms, there are pecans.
Wow.
Did you really?
Well, Uli, not me.
Oh, above and beyond. For the discriminating palates of our food creators like this. You happy with the stuffing as well?
Delicious.
Both good?
It's delicious.
All right, so the experiment, is it a success?
Yes.
Let's toast our forks. A fork toast. Success. All right. So listen, I'm posting a video with the full instructions on how to safely stuff your turkey. It's tried and tested. It's on my Facebook page. Tag someone in your family who you squabble with over the stuffing. If you're not going to follow those instructions, then do the turkey and the stuffing separately. Mark, thank you very much as always.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.